Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace. Happy Sundays, all that good stuff. You got refreshed. You know what I mean? Happy Sunday. Welcome to Substantial Sundays. I'm Substantial. This is my brother right here, Sherm the Barber.
Peace.
All right. We're going to give y'all a few minutes to go ahead and get up in here. I can hear we're live, right? So we're going to give y'all a few minutes to go ahead and log on with us and
Get your popcorn.
yes, all that good stuff, you know what I mean? And right now, I'm gonna make sure things are running smooth on this side of things. It's nice to start on time, son.
I know, right?
Like we was like 70
and one Russian.
right? You know what I mean? Oh my God! Like yeah, because usually it is a struggle. You know what I mean? Because you know we're running this all ourselves. We don't got anybody behind the camera, man. We're just out here on faith. You know what I'm saying? Hoping everything go good.
Chris is up here waiting for us.
Hey, Chris
What up,
told
Chris?
shout out to Chris, man. Chris told me, what was it? Hit me on Twitter yesterday and was like, "Yo, you good for tomorrow? We going? You going live tomorrow?" He missed it last week, and I hit him back like, "Yes, sir." And so he was like, "All right, bet." You know what I mean? He was ready. So we appreciate it, man. Thanks for logging in, man. Well, thanks for signing on with us. All that good stuff. So give me a second. I'm going ahead and getting all of this, getting situated. You know what I mean? But sure, what we got playing in the background right now?
Right now we have the lo-fi chill study beats from playlist from Spotify, and this is currently Chill Hop Essentials Spring 2018. And when the joints from this particular album come up, it is like, yeah, it's really good vibe music.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And apparently you know this gentleman.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Boss, man. Like, and all the Chill Hop fam. You know, definitely, man. They put together some great playlists and put out some good music as well, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to them also for showing the new record love and stuff like that. They actually premiered Beyond the Stage instrumental like a week before it dropped as a single. So definitely shout out to them, man. You know, they put together dopeness. You know what I mean? Never mad at people putting out dopeness in today's day and age. You know what I mean? So do me a favor real quick. If you're just tuning in, make sure you say peace. Make sure you let us know where you're tuning in from. And the most important piece, and I can't stress this enough, share the link. Share the link. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that and make sure your notifications are turned on as well. We got comments and stuff already.
Yeah. No, Chris is saying every time I see Sherm, I think about It's You.
Oh yeah, the video,
my international
right.
video premiere.
Right.
Famous out here in these streets. Hold up. I've been in one or two of your videos.
You were in that joint. You were in House Party as well.
Yeah.
That came before that.
Yeah.
And then
The haircut is what I was thinking about when you came to the shop and you filmed some of that.
oh yeah. That wasn't a music video,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was on YouTube as well. Yeah.
Oh,
you know.
Somebody was saying, Malcolm is in here. Malcolm Jackson, peace.
Clap it up for Malcolm. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Every time Malcolm come through, gotta show that brother love.
Tuning in live from the Food Lion parking lot. Thank you, Indio Prapper.
Hey,
appreciate you for that, man.
to stay coming through with the comedy, man. on the chat joint every time, man.
Oh, we got a native though. Not DC. That's funny. Peace shouting out from Washington, not DC.
Okay, all
Charles
right.
Armstrong. Peace, Clark.
That's what's up. Peace. Alright, who else we got up here?
Juan Para. Peace, Juan.
Oh, peace. Juan is he's a super supporter. You know what I mean?
It's Martins. I just wanted to say Martins because it's an accent over the I, so it's Luis. So I want it to be Martins, but it's probably just Luis Martins.
Right. I mean, or Martinez.
I'm trying to fancy his name.
Martinez?
No, just Martins.
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 Oh, okay, got you.
I'm just trying to fancy it up for no reason.
Alright, you know, I got you. Alright, let me see something. Make sure this last thing is up. We're trying to get everything, make sure we're good for shop talk. We're going to get ready to
peace, Stephen Flossie from Texas. What up?
That's what's up, man. Peace. It's good to see the regulars coming through. I appreciate y'all for supporting every week, man. We definitely appreciate the love.
I don't know if KD re-signed with the Warriors, Chris. I have no idea. I ain't been paying attention to that, man, because the Wizards are trash, so I ain't been paying attention. Oh, peace, Donovan, uncrowned otaku, PG County out here.
Okay.
Peace.
Oh yeah, if I'm pretty sure
he did. Okay, he did resign.
Okay, that's what's up. Smart man, smart man. You know what I'm saying? You got a good thing going. Why
Nerd on, what's good, Nerd on?
All right. Let's see. All right, cool. It's loading up now, so we can go ahead and jump into So we're gonna jump into shop talk. Definitely, we'll keep shouting you guys out. Sherm is on it, making sure he definitely catches the comments and questions as they pop up. But yo, a couple things dropped this week. You know what I mean? Of course, there's the one thing that dropped that everyone's talking about, whether you choose to talk about it or not. You know the guy. Right.
I don't listen to pillow talk music.
Okay. Yeah.
So look, man.
So there's the one. But then there's the other. Go ahead.
I came downstairs. I had left the house and I was playing Spotify all day. So I came back in the house, and it's funny. This probably goes on what you were saying earlier.
Sure.
Drake's single. I didn't choose this or anything. I just come back in the house, open up Spotify. Drake's single is the first, and I don't even listen to things along those lines. Right. One of his singles is just sitting there waiting for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If I don't listen to this now, it's probably no way I'm gonna listen to anything off this album. I hit play, 10 seconds later, I hit skip. It was so greasy. I couldn't do anything with it. It was just like, dude, why do like
not in a good way.
No, it's not in a good way.
Greasy sometimes could be slang.
No, just
right.
Just soppy and sappy and just Drake.
So Pete, like we're not gonna spend a lot of time talking about him right now, because I mean clearly he's getting enough burn out here, and I'm definitely not. I'm not a Drake hater, you know what I mean? I'm not a Drake stan either, even though my name is Stan. But listen, like this is what I was pointing out to Sherm. Like, now I don't know how much of this is the label. And then how much of this is like people just trying to capitalize on the biggest artists, you know, of the moment, right? But like, dude, so when I went on the Spotify, of course I get the notification or whatever that this dude dropped something. But then I go to the home page, it's the first thing you see, right? None of this is out of the norm. But the one thing I was telling him that blew me, right? The next line where it basically shows like the hot playlist or the playlist they want you to check out, all the Spotify's editorial playlists. Hey, these bambers literally took his face and they put it on every playlist they have, dog. Like every one that they had. This is 18 playlists, 18 editorial playlists, okay? Now for people who don't really use Spotify or people who don't really do streaming at all, that might not sound like a big deal. It's just like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. But let me help you out. They were talking about his album that was already like certified platinum within a few hours or something like that in terms of streaming, right? This is, you know, just little quick things I've read and stuff, right? Again, I'm not a person who's actively following this stuff. It's just everywhere. So it's like you can't help but see, right? So anyway, you know, when people say that, like, and people already out here like, see, yeah, look, Drake, man, this, that, and the third. And look, no doubt, if you love it, great. But don't ever get it confused with like how well something is selling or how much people is playing stuff with how, like, with actual quality, whether it's good or not. Because all of that's subjective, right? Like, we can agree to disagree on certain things. But it's a numbers game. This dude was literally listed. He's at the top of Spotify when you come in, and then he's listed in 18 editorial playlists. Each of these playlists have anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 followers. One of the playlists, I was joking with Sherm when I said it, but I was part serious. One of the playlists was like bachata or something like that, like some Latin music, right? Now it probably wasn't bachata, it was some other type of Latin music, right? And this dude was even on the cover of that playlist, dog, like for a remix or something like that. So again, if you're in 18 different playlists that have 250,000 to like 1 million followers, dog, it's not hard to get that much burn in a short period of time.
It's like you get the damn Contra cheat code on them right quick.
Right, left, right,
ABAB select on it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, like
100 streams right there.
The music cheat code. And so like, and I'm just speaking, and I'm solely speaking from observation and experience, right? So as somebody who's recently been blessed enough where one of my songs was featured in an editorial playlist, I was telling Sherm, I'm like, one of those songs right now is at like 300,000 streams in about, like slightly over a month, right? And keep in mind, that's with me only having like 7,000 some followers, but having over 100,000 monthly listeners. And this is largely because of what that one playlist did, right? So when you can see what one playlist does for a dude who's nowhere near Drake's level in terms of like the burn I get, yeah, bro. Like when you're doing crazy numbers and you're featured on that many playlists, dog, it's kind of not hard. It's kind of not hard. And I get it. Like they benefit, they get money too. So you know what the game is. So let's not play ignorant out here. You know what I mean? But other than that, I'm gonna shout out my man in a second. But other than that, what you been listening to?
Actually, this week, man, I've been listening to a lot of old stuff. I went back to listen to Earth Gang.
Earth Gang.
Really love Earth Gang. They're like if for anybody that has never heard of Earth Gang, it's an Atlanta-based group. They're basically the newer version of Outkast. Like they're super dope. Like their music is awesome. But yeah, I've just been listening to a lot of older, not old, but a lot of older stuff. Yeah, I've been listening to Anderson Pop, No Worries this week. Went back and listened to that M3. Oh, went back. I listened to some Dame Jordan.
Okay.
The kid that I was telling you about.
I haven't heard him yet.
Yeah, he's got a couple projects that are on Spotify. Them joints are dope, man. Like, dude is really nice, man.
Quick shout out, peace, Janixie. Janixie's one of my former students. She's up in here. Peace, Queen. Good to see you up in here. That's what's up. And Chris put 2 songs to make you proud for sub. The clips ain't no happy ending. Man, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Question/comment. I just recently got into jazz hop, including some stuff by New Jabez, Marcus D, and You Substantial. Will you ever hook back up with Marcus? It's Marcus with a C, not a K. If he saw it, he'd probably lose his mind. Sightstar or anyone similar soon. Absolutely.
That's funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Already got a new song that we cooked up that we're hoping to release sometime soon. And Marcus and I have been talking about doing the next part of Winter Breaks along with another Bob Alloy full album. So you ain't got to worry. We're definitely planning to do more, do more music, man. So no worries. You gotta send me a link for that dude, man. Cause I know
Dane Jordan.
Yeah, Dane Jordan. Cause I know I'm gonna forget again. Cause a little bit I heard was super dope. And so I definitely want to get into his stuff some more. Do I take family questions? I don't know what you mean by family questions. It depends on what type of family question it is. You know what I'm saying? Just being all the way real with you.
I was first asking if do you like Tribe? What?
Jazz.
He couldn't be asking that.
I think he might be talking to the other person, the guy Clark.
Oh, to ask a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of feel like,
and
it's funny because people talk about jazz. Like I think the term jazz hop is like something that only came about in the last few years and stuff like that, right? Like maybe within the last 10 years. But the reality of it is, jazzy hip hop in general has kind of been along for a very long time.
Whoa.
So,
I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny, but that's
wow.
That's kind of heavy.
Got you. So you're saying family questions for yourself. So you're saying I hate my parents very much and can't get over it. What do I do? I mean, that's pretty heavy, man. Look, so I do work with young people. I do unfortunately like have a lot of these conversations with people who don't get along with their folks. But just to be clear, you know what I mean? Like, I can offer advice, other people can offer you advice, but it basically comes down to you and ultimately, like what works best for your situation. Because I don't know your situation other than the fact that you don't get along with your folks. I would say this and then we gotta keep it moving, right? depending on your age, right? People are always at a point where it's like, yo, you see things the way you see things, and then your parents or whatever, they're coming from a different era, so they don't necessarily, they're not on the same page as you sometimes. And I don't, without really knowing all the details, and I ain't trying to have you put all your business out right here, but without knowing all the details, all I can tell you is this. At one point in time, me and my mom weren't like necessarily vibing the way I would have liked us to. And the only, I guess the only real, I'm looking for the right word, but the one thing I had to look forward to is the fact that by that time I was in high school, right? And I knew that I had a few years left before I was about to move out the house. It's not that me and my mom has the worst relationship ever. It was just we were having some challenges at the moment. And whenever you have those problems with your folks, you're just like, yo, like I don't know how much longer I can deal with this. And so I found some comfort in the fact that I was getting ready to leave for college. And it's like, yo, new beginning, I get to start fresh. And that time away from them made me appreciate, away from her, made me appreciate her more, and actually helped our relationship.
And one thing I'll add is just, and also remember too, that you're not in a microcosm. So never be afraid to talk. Like, never be afraid to reach out to your support system. Because you're not the only one going through it, and there's never a reason to sit down by yourself and wallow in your problems. So just that's all I had to add to it. Just make sure you're reaching out and talking to those people that you trust, and just getting feedback, because just like Chris was saying, you're not the only one with parental issues. So
yeah. And so and Nixie was just commenting as well, was saying remember to keep them by the heart, and so like, yeah, because it's one of those things, man, that like, I mean, we don't get to choose our family, you know what I mean? Your family's your family, and unfortunately not all our families are perfect. Everybody comes with problems and stuff, but the reality of it is, for every flaw you find in someone you care about, I'm pretty sure they got their list of flaws for you as well, but you hang in there. And just understand, like, they do influence you, but they only have so much control in terms of what type of person you become. So hopefully they don't jade you too much in terms of what you're dealing with in the world, and you still basically strive to be the best person you can be. You know what I mean? That's all you really can do. But on that note, definitely want to keep it moving, man. I appreciate you for opening up with us too. Peace to a few people that's joining us. Ice Killer, I see you.
1991 Neon Angel. So
yeah, peace, sis, what's going on? That's awesome that you take the time to answer a question that is not related to me. Of course, I mean, look. The funny thing is, it's like I don't know if it's funny per se, but like it's all related to music, right? Like, because at the end of the day, a lot of times the music people make comes from a personal place. So like, I don't mind, I guess, dealing with those type of things, because I mean, at some point in time, like, we've either listened to music that have tackled those same issues, or in my case or whatever, I've written about stuff dealing with those same issues. So I think we all can relate. You know what I mean? All right. Thank you, Nixie. I appreciate it, man. Tell Janice I said hello. Hope you folks are doing well. Yeah. So first of all, that beat in the background super dope. Who is that? Oh, that's the Chill Hop, man.
The Chill Hop joint, man.
Shout out
from
to Chill Hop.
2017.
Yeah, man. Good vibes always. So while we're talking about like dope hip hop music, I definitely wanted to shout out my brother Funky DL. Funky DL, for those who don't know, just dropped a new album on Friday. The new album is called Black Current Jazz 3, from his collection of Black Current Jazz albums and stuff. Definitely another dope installment. Make sure you check it out. My favorite track from the album, I was playing it for Sherm early. I feel like it's the perfect like summertime joint. Is this track called "You Letting Me Down Again"? "Let Me Down Again" is super dope. Like, yeah, the guitar on that joint is super crazy. The drums dope. Bass line coming in later in the track or whatever during the hook, a little singing like la 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 la. Man, look, walking around singing that joint all day. So shout out to my brother Funky DL. Make sure you check out his album when you can. So Chris asked us if we listen to Fonte. So help me God. It's a pig pork. Yes, it is. Yeah, so man, that joint, like, listen, Well, look, I'll let you go. I've been talking for a minute. Thoughts, please.
Thoughts on that song?
Yes.
Body bags, man. I died that day.
Right.
The day that song came out, I was deceased. Someone had to bring me back to life.
It's like Doctor Strange. You seen Doctor Strange? The joke where like the scene where she like hit him in the out of his body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he float back like, what just happened,
Man, especially when the hook comes in.
Yeah.
Man. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fonte is that dude, man. Like,
Yes.
you definitely got to put him in the same list with Black Thought, man.
Yeah.
One of them artists, one of them
get
like
that.
lyricists
Yeah.
that don't necessarily get the recognition, man.
Right.
And even though people looked at this album as a lot of people saying it's not as good as the first album.
Yeah, it still got gems though.
Yeah, it's got some gems. It's still a great body of work. But I kind of agree with a lot of the perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, we've heard that. And yes,
Yes,
and
hell
yes.
yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. Mason Lieberman, ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for
What's
Mason.
up, Mason?
All right. Peace to Mason, man. Mason is on my new album, The Garden, a particular track called Stroll With Me. Mason is super talented. He's a composer. He's made music for video games. He's made music for anime as well. He played cello and guitar on my track. He's just a show off. You know what I mean? Mason's a damn show off. He's super talented, and he's a constant reminder that we all need to do better. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mason, man. Let's see. Say we're doing great. Can't wait to see you for graduation. Absolutely. Please keep me posted throughout the year so I don't miss it. The second y'all get a date, let me know. I'm gonna put it in the calendar. I wouldn't miss it for the world. All right. Do we like Apollo Brown? I definitely dig Apollo stuff. Yeah, man. I dig his instrumental joints. I like some of the collab projects he did. It's like the joint.
He just put a joint out with Locksmith.
Oh, I didn't hear that joint. It was disappointing.
No, I won't say it's disappointing. I think I'm just kind of good on Locksmith. He's kind of like he's a one-trick pony.
I got you. Yeah,
it's not a bad trick at all.
Right. Yeah, it's an amazing trick.
It's like, all right, that 360 with the 920 and the 890,
right?
Like it's cool, but you do that every time you come out. It's
right.
Like, I'm good on that.
Right. You know, and so yeah, Locksmith, like he's one of those dudes. Like the first time I heard him, I was just like blown away. Like, yo, this dude's amazing. But then as I started to get into his music and listen to more of him, it was just like, yeah, I think I'm good.
It's the same energy.
Yeah,
every time. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's just like once you get it, it's just kind of like even when it's like he's trying to be a little different than something you had before, it still doesn't feel far enough from. It's just like more of the same. You know what I mean? So but shout out to Locksmith. He is super dope. Shout out to Apollo Brown as well, whose stuff I did as well.
Trophies was dope. Yeah,
Trophies was dope. Yeah, I dug the joint, the Razzcast joint too. That one song in particular, "This Is How You Kill God." Yo, you heard that song?
Who was it?
This is Razzcast and Apollo Brown. The joint
Razzcast, the last joint?
Yeah, it was a joint they did together. It's a collab album. That song in particular, because the title alone is just like, whoa, I like it. Do I listen to this? Right. It's like, is there a way? Like, what are we doing?
Apparently, letting us know.
Right.
The song.
Quick memo, this is how you kill God. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Like, the title is definitely, like a shock value, right? But like when you listen to the song is actually amazing. So peace to them. Raz is a beast. So again, definitely check out the homie Funky DL. The link for his label site is in the bio/description. So you can just get that and check out his work when you get a chance. Let me make sure we covered everything for Shop Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. Boom. Yeah. Oh, what you been watching lately, bro?
I haven't been watching much of anything, man.
You've been watching scalps
and album covers, man. I just been listening to music, man. I did just go see The Incredibles 2 last night.
How was it, man? I ain't seen it.
You haven't seen it yet?
Dude, I got a baby at home.
It's fantastic, man. Yeah, don't take her.
Yeah, I don't want to take people. So I got to find a sitter.
It really addresses the overuse of social media. Like that's basically. I probably shouldn't have said that.
Don't say any more than that. It's good. It addresses some things that are very real.
Very pertinent.
Spoiler free.
It's a very mature movie too.
Yeah.
Like it seemed a lot more mature than the last one. Like it was a lot more conversation. It seemed like a lot more adult conversation. It's great movie.
Right. Which is kind of cool, like for the people who were little when they saw the first one, who are now adults, because that first one came out with like 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
Man, that's
so that actually is kind of cool, because if you were a youngin when you saw the first one and now you're an adult, it's like you can kind of.
You know what? Yeah, you got some relatable. Yeah, the content is relatable. You know what? That's probably what they did. Yeah,
Right. That's dope. Yeah, I definitely want to see it, man. I love the first one. The first one was
laughing at you. I got a baby at home.
Right, I got a baby at home. So yeah, because I got a baby at home, it's it's a little harder to get out and catch everything right now. It's like I'm terrarium everything right now. You know what I'm saying? Watching terrible bootlegs on terrarium.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like. That's what it is. Like every now and then we get out for date night and we see something, and sometimes we get out for I'll do this is one of those movies that sometimes I would do daddy daughter date night with my oldest daughter, but the missus want to see it, so I can't do that.
You gotta wait.
Yeah. So we gotta find a sitter so we can all go see it, with the exception of the 7-month-old.
What you watching besides Luke Cage?
So Luke Cage. I finished that.
I need to tune in, man.
Yes.
I need to tune in.
Yes.
Or it's like, you got time.
I feel like season 2 is way better than season 1. Because number one, there's mistakes that they made in season. Don't get it twisted. I like season 1. You know what I mean? But there were mistakes that they made in season 1 that they didn't replicate this time. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so they did a good job. I love the whole idea of playing around with more than one villain. You know what I mean? And then Marvel has been doing a great job lately with their villains, where they're not one-dimensional. The villains are more relatable. You know what I mean? Like you want to root for them a little bit, because part of what they're saying, there's some truth to what they're talking about. And so I really like Luke Cage season 2. It's dope. So I would highly recommend you check it out.
Yeah.
Hey, I call Luke Cage season 2 Bushmaster season 1, because Bushmaster is a beast like Yana. You will find out. You will find out.
New series?
He's
okay.
But he's such a dope dude. Like it feels like it's season 1 for this battle, because I don't feel like. Yeah, we gonna see more of Bushmaster, bro. Bushmaster is dope.
Going on a water bottle, dog?
Huh?
It's a great water bottle, man. It's refreshing. My lunchroom water bottle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, look, I got mine. I ain't even touching it yet. Yeah. All right.
She was 1991 Neon Angel. We just answered her question for.
Oh yeah, there it is. Right. You know what else I've been watching that I'm kind of digging is Cloak and Dagger. That's another Marvel show.
You told me about that, and I think I might have. I started to watch one episode, but my eyelids wasn't having it that night, man. It was late, but it looks pretty good.
I like it. I feel like Marvel is starting to do. Marvel, the Netflix shows they've been doing pretty well with, right? The TV shows not so much, right? Like the ones that's been on network television or whatever, I wasn't really as into. But I am digging Cloak and Dagger. I'm like, I think 4 or 5 episodes into Cloak and Dagger, and so I'm digging that, man.
You know what I definitely did, and I definitely fell asleep because I remember the characters now. Yeah, I gotta go back.
Other shows I'm watching, been watching Queen Sugar, which is great. I love Queen Sugar. It's a really good show. It also, like Cloak and Dagger, takes place in New Orleans. And then I've been watching Claws. This new season of Claws is like super over the top. Like,
you're watching that? I had to stop watching.
I'm watching it with my wife, man. You know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we got our shows we watch together. Queen Sugar is our show we watch together. Claws, you know what I mean? We watch together.
I thought that was going to be our show, but we both fell off of it.
Oh, yeah?
When the dude died, when the first season.
Spoilers.
No, this is first season.
Oh, first season.
Okay. When dude died, the young dude, and then pops back up in the swamp with the crazy lady. We both looked at each other and was like, oh yeah, we're good on this. And I was actually only watching in hopes of Niecy Nash doing a sex scene where at least some side meat was showing. Every sex scene she has clothes on. I'm thoroughly disappointed.
She's a married woman, you know what I'm saying?
I don't care, so it's making good.
Right.
So a lot of these actresses, man, you still sometimes sometimes gotta give the people what they want.
Give the people
not
what they
give
want.
the people what
Okay.
they want.
Sherm says give the people what they want. You know
Lisa
what I'm saying?
Nash. No, never mind. Don't
Right.
fuck around, retweet that, go viral. Me asking, hey, Lisa
Right.
Nash, get naked.
Right.
Get naked. They say.
It says, personally, maybe it isn't great to ask about this when I haven't watched it. Be sure they hear the second season is better than the first. Yeah, definitely. And then plus, I think what it is too, like people have to bear in mind, like when you bring it up on Netflix, one of the subgenres that Luke Cage pops up under is blaxploitation. Like people don't right. Like so. When you watch it, you got to keep that in mind because certain things that's in the show, it's supposed to have a certain level of corniness, right? It's tied into like this stuff,
like that Black Dynamite.
It's basically just not as extreme as a Black Dynamite,
right.
But there's certain elements or whatever in it that basically deals with certain things related to that particular subgenre. But also, one thing about season 2, there's a lot more drama. Like they got. I mean, yeah, man, like the actors this time out, like the Bushmaster character, super dope. Because the dude, he plays Jamaican. I mean, as someone who's not Jamaican, of course, I'm impressed with his accent. Some other Jamaicans I talk to, they're like, you know what I mean? But the dude's Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Nigerian, he's from Harlem, but he's not Jamaican. But you won't know he's not Jamaican after watching that joint, unless you are Jamaican. So
there's a comment you might want to check out there.
Hold on.
Right, it's like 2 comments under the one about Luke Cage, 1991 Neon Angel.
Oh, right under
your man cooking you, dog.
You said, did you touch Black Star?
Nope, one more.
Sub look like him. Hey, you know why it's funny to this guy. His wife.
My wife is a mail carrier, and yes, he does. Like as soon as I saw it, it looks like, oh shit, the navy blue and the cheese blue. He definitely was.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Substantial delivers. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's funny as hell. For Neon Angel, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna stop calling you Neon Angel because I'm pretty sure that's Griselda, right? So she was asking if I watched. It was man. Look, I ship packages to all of these people, not all of these people, but certain people. If I've shipped them enough packages and they've showed enough support, I start knowing what their real names are. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell by the picture. I'm pretty sure that's Griselda. So shout out to you. As far as Breaking Bad, I absolutely watched Breaking Bad. I also watched Better Call Saul. Yeah.
Dude, this is a good show?
Yeah. Yes. Which one?
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, it's the prequel to Breaking Bad.
Like literally?
Yes. Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. You should watch it. Yes. Have you watched all of Breaking Bad?
No. I haven't watched even a quarter of Breaking Bad.
Top 3 television shows of all time.
No, it's a great show. It's a great show.
Nah, it's not just a great show. Like this show is so good that like you ever go with us to Maryfield, Virginia to that the theater that Kevin Early used to work at?
Yeah.
Bro, they used to show the final season of Breaking Bad. They used to show it at the theater on Sundays, and the shit was packed. Like, bro, people were going to the theater every Sunday to see that show.
That's crazy.
There ain't too many shows that can do that, bro. Breaking Bad is that damn good. Like it's yeah.
I'm gonna be 65 years old watching season 1 of Breaking Bad.
Hey, shit! I'm watching this Breaking Bad here. No, Breaking Bad is it's a great show. Better Call Saul is pretty good too. It starts out slow, similar to Breaking Bad or whatever, maybe a lot slower. You know, but it's a really good show as well. I wouldn't say it's as good as Breaking Bad though. You know what I mean? But yeah, I absolutely watched that show. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that I missed. Not something. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the new season of Power. We're gonna start watching that tonight. You know what I mean? You don't watch Power?
I would not.
Hey, I like Power. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the best. It's not anywhere near like greatest shows made or anything like that. But I think it's a solid show. Like it's not a bad show. Like there are moments or whatever. You know, like there are a lot of moments in that show that are really brilliant. And then there's others where it's just not so great.
Yeah.
But it's a solid show though. I mean, yeah, it's stuck around for a while. You know, a big reason why I watched this show. Fun fact, right?
50 Cent stand.
No, absolutely not. That would be a
got
lot.
your 50
Right?
Cent beat on
No,
right now.
I am. Look, pull up my shirt and see my 50 Cent white beat on. Right. But nah, man. The homie Vitamin D. Vitamin D actually masters a lot of Marcus D's albums, and he mastered the second Bob Alloy album. He produced the opening song, that song with 50 and Joe. So every time you watch that show, that song that's playing, that's produced by the homie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Vitamin D. So that, it's funny, I never watched the show until like I heard that song. And when I heard that song, I was like, hey, this song, that is a dope, that's probably one of 50's best songs that no one ever brings up as one of 50's best songs. It's a great song because the beat is amazing. It's not like he bodies it or anything, but the combination of that beat, his voice, and Joe on the hook, that shit is a winner. Like it's a great opening song. So yeah, that made me start watching the show. And then after I watched a couple of episodes, I was like, this shit ain't that bad. You know what it is too? I had low expectations going in. I didn't expect much from it, and then it ended up being a lot better than I thought. You know what I mean? So, especially, I ain't gonna give you spoilers, but especially after what happened last season, one of the characters they killed, that shit like literally broke my heart. Like, nigga, we was in the crib like, oh shit. Like, yeah, it's that good, man. Like, last season in particular, what they did, a lot of people didn't see coming. And so, because they thought it was going to happen to a different character, and when it happened to the other character, like, yo, people were messed.
You know what? I think I remember that day last year when I go on Facebook and it's like everybody's off the holy shit.
Yeah.
Off the power. Because I'm looking, I'm like, what's everybody talking about? And then somebody did a hashtag power.
Yeah.
I think I was on Facebook that evening. Like,
yeah, I didn't expect to like that show as much as I did. And so, you know, and then you know what it is too? I think when you go in sometimes with no expectations or no expectations, you end up enjoying something a lot more. And I ain't really had any real expectations. I think at the time that because Marcus B was the one that played the song for. Like I was in Seattle, it was in the middle of Game of Thrones and all of that, in the middle of that season, so I really wasn't thinking about power. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't. And so, you know, I'm literally on tour watching Game of Thrones, making sure I don't miss them joints unless I got a show. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then like he showed me that video for the song, and I was just like, yeah, this song, cause that beat, bro, I'm gonna make sure you hear it before we leave. Like, yeah, that joint is Vitamin D killed it. But anyway, let's see, wow, okay, Matt.
Okay.
All right, we'll go ahead and skip over that one.
Hopefully you just exited quickly.
All right. Let's
So it's not like Brolic out here. No, he's not.
Right. No. I am quite the opposite of Brolic these days. But I was just talking to this dude. I was like, hey, young, like, yeah, I've been slacking. So, but definitely the plan for the summer is the look. Nice segue, thank you.
The 21 day challenge.
So today, son, because I've been pescatarian for a couple of years now, since 2008. Damn, 10 years, wow. Right, so I've been pescatarian for a while, and so now we're going to try to go, we're going to go vegan for the next 3 weeks, see how it goes. Like, so we just
think about transitioning to permanently?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna see how I feel because you know I've been slacking, man. I think between the stuff the family's been going through earlier in the year, and then the amount of stuff I've been dealing with, like work-wise for music, and school. Like I have not been working out, and then we've been so busy. I've been eating out more and stuff like that, and so like I can see the weight on. You know what I mean? So Shell, my wife, you know, we just had a kid and another kid in November, and so both of us just have not been actively exercising, and our diet like kind of fell off. Like we still have a pescatarian diet, but we've been eating out so much.
Yeah,
it's just like, you know, and I'm the type of dude, like I love to cook, man. I throw down, like he knows, he can co-sign cooking skills. So we're going to try 21 days, see how I feel, because that's really more than anything. Like, of course, I like to lose a few pounds, and I like to, you know, cut up a little more, whatever. But more than anything, it's about how you feel, like for me, in terms of like when I eat, you know what I mean? And so yeah, so we're gonna start today.
Oh, this dude.
Hey, you need to go?
Yeah, you might want
I'm 6 in 26 days. Well,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. All right. So it's been nice, Matt, but but it might be
Hey,
that time.
Steph, what up?
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and say bye to this guy. All right. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, I was looking for comments, and all of a sudden I'm just seeing all that. Oh, okay, this is not real comments.
With grown folks. He said congratulations. All right, peace, Steph. What's going on, yo? So Matt has left the building. Take care, Matt. It's been real. You know what I mean? Like, try to even when we bump into people doing a little too much or whatever, we try to do it in the classiest fashion possible. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's see what else. So we mentioned the diet thing. We talked about the joint. All right. Feedback from y'all. Now, I don't know, and this is one thing I didn't list on here, but I wanted to get feedback, so I'm glad I remembered it. So, I did my last album, The Past is Always Present in the Future. I put it on cassette before, right? And so, recently I got a message from someone that was asking if I was planning to put The Garden on cassette. So I hadn't thought about it, mainly because the last album, it did okay on cassette. Like we sold about 70% of the amount that we pressed up, so that's not bad. We definitely made a profit. I'm just talking strictly from a business standpoint. Like, I love the aesthetic. I love cassettes. I love how they sound. I love that whole process. But I just didn't know if there was enough interest in me doing more cassettes for me to do it. But because of the fact someone hit me up and this dude even did a mock-up of what it would look like. And it was sexy. It was real sexy. I was like, I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, show me one more time. Woo! That's sexy. That's sexy. So so I'm thinking about it. But more importantly, I want to know what y'all think. So if any of y'all are interested in getting the album on cassette, if y'all want The Garden on cassette, let me know. I noticed that a lot of producers in general tend to do really well, like instrumental projects do really well on cassette, more so than regular albums. And so in these day and age, so I'm really considering it. So I want to know what y'all think, so let me know in the comments. If for those people who are going to tune in and watch this later after it posts, definitely just leave it in the comments, and if we get enough feedback, and I'm gonna post about it later this week on Instagram, just to really kind of take a toll on how many people want it. What we got now?
Wow, this dude's an asshole, man.
What happened now?
You see that?
Oh, I told you.
I'm back, boy.
So, yeah. So, Matt is dedicated apparently. So check this out. First things first, Chris, do me a favor, right? Like, first of all, like don't pay any of those folks any mind. As quick as I see it, I'm gonna go ahead and handle that. So that's cool. So chill out on the comments, in particular, like with the gay comments and stuff like that. Definitely, man. Like, I know a lot of people use that as slang for like that's why we sat in the third. But you know what I mean, out of respect for my people and just in general, you know what I mean, just trying not to go there. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll block dude in a moment. But let's stay on topic. We gonna keep it moving. If anything, this is a sign that things are on the up and up for us.
Yeah,
because
you might be enjoying the show as
right,
well.
you know what I'm saying? And so, right, you know, it is what it is, man. But there it is. So,
what about the best compilation album? What?
Yeah.
That's a hard ass question.
Oh nah, I actually mentioned this on IG the other day. So
what you call the best compilation?
No. I think he's oh no, I thought he was talking about okay. You got two people, but they're talking about two different things. So Malcolm saw what I was saying on IG the other day. So I'm gonna get into that.
Oh, okay.
And then what's the best compilation album? He said like
Jay-Z's question. Man.
Yeah, I mean I got a few I throw out there, but first, so to talk about what Malcolm was talking about. So the other thing is like I was talking to the homie Funky DL earlier in the week before his album came out, and I was just talking about like my future plans, things I'm planning to do. So I put this in the title, so I'm gonna go ahead and address this real quick. So a couple things I'm looking to do this year. So I'm considering the cassette thing. We'll see what people's feedback is, and then we'll go there, right? The other thing is basically I'm considering doing a best of album, right? Like taking certain songs from different releases I've done, maybe even hitting up Hideout or other people I've worked with and pull like a song that I did that was really popular from someone else's album and then put it together on like a best of compilation. So that's what Malcolm was talking about, because I'm considering doing that just as a release to come out later in the year, because you know, when I put up this footage of this b-boy breaking up my song, a lot of people didn't even know the song. You know what I mean? Some people messaged me privately. Some people hit me up. And this is Let It Go from my second album, like the first track on it. And so it made me realize like how many people who might listen to my stuff who don't necessarily know certain things from my catalog. And then I have a lot of fans that I recently gained from the instrumental album doing so well. So I'm thinking about doing like a compilation or whatever and then put that out officially later this year.
Hey, I wanted to address something right quick.
Sure.
Hey, going back to that comment that Chris made, just to kind of play both sides of that. To go along with, you know, just making sure we're not making those type of comments. Also, if a comment like that is made, being that we're all humans and we all make mistakes and we all come from different backgrounds, when things like that happen, make sure you're using those times for, make sure your response, make sure you're taking that time to educate the person and not troll, because I kind of feel like the question, define gay stuff, that was kind of trolling when you could have said, you know, when it could have been, you know, if the person is a part of that lifestyle, then just saying, hey, I'm a part of that lifestyle, and that was kind of offensive. Yeah, you know, can we not do that anymore? Just to make sure we're keeping everything peaceful and not, you know, not starting any conflicts on the comment section when we're trying to keep it peaceful.
Yeah, I feel you. And the person who made the comment, that was Steph. So you know what I mean. So like Steph was obviously a part of that. Well, obvious to me because I've known her forever. But like she's very much a part of that community. And I got besides just friends or whatever. Like, oh, I got a good friend. You know what I mean? Sounds like super cliche. But besides like having friends that are a part of that community, I got family members that are part of that community and stuff. So hey Chris, man, I thank you, man. It takes a big person to apologize for that as well. And so, Steph, if you're still watching, I hope you saw the apology the brother put up there. But definitely, man, just like, I think in general, like, you know, with all of the issues that we see happening across the world, like people in general just need to have better dialogue and just a little more understanding of each other. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so,
reciprocity.
Yes, indeed. High five for Jesus. $1 million words, son. You know what I'm saying? Sherm out here flexing his vocabulary.
Hey, Cloud Kid.
All right, peace, Cloud Kid. Good to see you up there again. I feel like you was up there before. Random question: Marvin Gaye or Curtis Mayfield?
What are these questions that people come up with?
Right.
What do you do with that?
So hold that, but go back to the compilation joint. Who was your favorite compilation record?
I can't answer that question. I cannot answer that question.
I would say
so many of them.
One of my favorite, I don't know, look, soundtracks for movies are compilations technically, right? So two of my favorite soundtracks all time, Above the Rim soundtrack was super dope. That's the joint that had Pour Out a Little Liquor from Tupac on there. And they had Dog Pound for This Is Dog Pound for Life. That joint was on there, Afro Puff, rock and stuff with all
one song from a soundtrack. Like if I would say what is the most, I have a memorable song from a compilation. The Points.
Yeah, The Points
from the Panther soundtrack.
Yeah, that joint was crazy. Yeah. You know what also had a dope soundtrack? The Street Fighter movie had a dope soundtrack as well. Remember the movie was terrible. Do you remember they had an ad in the source that was like, yo, you seen the new Street Fighter movie? They was like, yeah, joint was trash. Soundtrack tight though. You never seen that joint?
No.
Dog, you know the song or whatever with Raz Cass, Ahmad, and Sophia is from that soundtrack.
I was wondering where that song was for. That's why it was floating and all kind of crap in the video.
Yeah, hey Steph, it's all good. Yeah, you just came in. He was basically responding to like some comments that a person who was coming in trying to start some stuff. They just kept making random comments about sausage, banana, and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? They were clearly trolling, trying to start something. And so basically, Chris was commenting to that. It's all good. But Nutty Professor soundtrack had joy like my crew can't go for that. No, no can do. Oh. The Minister Society soundtrack, bro. No, Belly joint.
That is my favorite.
I gotta go back and listen to that joint. The belly joint.
That's my favorite joint. Yeah.
All right.
So Menace,
So look,
Menace is what put me on the my man. What's my MC8?
Yeah, MC8 is that
his album off that.
Half ounce. Hey, I love MC8. MC8 is one of my favorite West Coast MCs. You know what I mean? So the other question Luis said Marvin Gaye or Curtis Mayfield, son. So look, Pete.
You should be allowed to ask questions like
that. I got it. I got my answer. You got your answer? No. Okay, I got my answer. So look. So it's kind of a split decision for me, right? Because I like Curtis Mayfield, I like because of his arrangement and music more than anything else. I mean, it's keeping it 100. Like, when you hear Curtis Mayfield's songs, the musical arrangements are crazy. And the thing is, that's Curtis. Like, Curtis was putting some of those arrangements together. Where Marvin Gaye was super dope, but he was working with the Funk Brothers early in his career and stuff like that. So he wasn't necessarily the person like arranging all the music. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's like it's like apples and oranges almost, because like I think when most people ask that question, they're really talking about who do I like better vocally. If you're asking me who I like better vocally, I'm gonna say Marvin Gaye. But like if you're talking about who I like better musically, bro, Curtis Mayfield's catalog is ridiculous. Like musically, what he's doing is disgusting, dog. Like it's super sick. Like if you don't listen to a lot of Curtis Mayfield, I'm gonna need you to do that. Like please, because when you go back, like what's the joint? Yeah, I'm a music nerd, man. So I mean, you are too. But like when it comes to those two dudes in particular,
I don't. When it comes to them two dudes, it's like who do you like better?
Right.
What's today? Sunday. All right, Marvin Gaye.
Right. Just checked out the Black Curtain Chaz 3 album, felt all of the instrumentals, League of His Own.
Damn, Clark, on your job, boy.
Hey,
well, right on. You check that joint.
Man, that's what's up. Soul Food soundtrack was my favorite. I gotta go back. Oh, you know what, Steph? You made me think of another one that was a dope one. It's no rap music on it at all, right? So if y'all super hardcore rap fans, you might not even know. But the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, man. Bruh, what?
Man, that was too R&B for me. I thought you was gonna say Love Jones.
Nah, that joint was dope too.
That's a dope.
That's dope. But not like on some straight R&B, because Babyface wrote and produced the whole thing.
That's why it was super R&B.
But dog, do you realize it's all women? There's all women on the soundtrack, but every song was written and produced by Babyface. Hey, Steph, my favorite joint from that soundtrack, Shantae Moore, Way You. That song is super dope because it's literally it's just like, it's no words. It's just like, where you shine, where you. She just scattered the whole joint. It's no words. It's just a beautiful song though, man. Super dope. Sub, have you ever been to jail? No, I have not. That was easy to answer. I've been to the police precinct. I've been in the back of a police car. I have not been handcuffed. I went peacefully in that particular incident. It was more of an age issue than an actual. We hadn't committed a crime just yet.
Like, come see what you could be right, man.
Yeah, like we had. I mean, we was just out past the legal limit or whatever because of the age we were. But like, we hadn't done anything or whatever other than that for him to stop us. So he ain't cuff us or nothing like that. But I was up in the precinct for a grip, waiting for my sister to scoop me up. This was in Kentucky of all places too. So yeah, man, it was. Even in that situation, which was pretty chill compared to other situations I've had with cops, I would definitely not recommend ever having to ride in the back of a police car, bro. Because even when you know you ain't really did much, it's just all I kept thinking about. I was like, I'm scared I might not go home. I might not go home. You know what I mean? And so I was just, I was lucky my sister came through as quick as she did. You know what I mean? And so, was it, where's the sub sticker from?
Sub sticker.
What sub sticker are you referring to? Is there a sub sticker? He's talking on the back of here. All right. Man, look, you see, we was lost.
Wow.
Right. So if you're referring to this sticker right here that says sub, That's literally just a I took that from
my name is.
yeah, one of those hello my name is and the graffiti on there, that's me. Like a lot of folks don't know I can draw. But yeah, man, I used to do walls and everything, black book, all of that. Yeah, look, who can ever sleep on Babyface? If you talk R&B and Babyface name don't come up, like I don't know who you are really. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
my favorite song has to be "This Is for the Cool."
Yeah, come on,
That's
man.
my favorite.
Bruh, yo, Babyface is that dude, man. Listen, I feel like, yeah, if you talking 90s R&B, like there's certain people names who just gotta come up. Babyface is one of those names. And definitely, I'm a huge Tony fan as well, man. You know.
And what was Babyface thinking with that Tony Braxton collab?
Boomerang did have a nice soundtrack. That's the joint Tribe Called Quest had, Hot Sex on the Fly.
Oh yeah,
that's yeah. That was Tony Braxton's debut too. You know what I mean? Shout out to Tony Braxton. She represented Maryland as well.
Hey, Steph heard me.
What you say?
When I said what the hell was Babyface thinking about with that damn collaboration with Tony Braxton?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I ain't say he hit like, you know, he was knocking my park every time. I ain't say that. I just said that, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Right. Let's see. So look.
Hey, there's both of us a question.
To both of you, what does success mean to you? Why? All right.
Look, I'll start because you're always
I'm
long-winded wordy than I am.
Yeah, I'm long-winded. Yeah.
So success to me. My answer is probably really simple. I'm not really deep all the time. Sometimes I'm just real surface level. And to me, success is when you can walk into a room of the people who love you and they respect you no matter what you have going on, because what you're doing is when you embody what you're doing, regardless of what it is, that you kind of emanate that to the people close to you, and when they can respect you because of that, that's what I feel like is success. Like when I see, like I know I'm not gonna make $1 million cutting hair, right, but when I hear how you guys talk about how I cut hair, that makes me feel successful. I don't know. That's my answer. Okay. So now here we go. Dissertation.
All right. I'm gonna try to keep it as tight as possible. Chris, do me a favor. Remind me what your question was, because I'm pretty sure it was like pretty far back there. So success for me, right? Like, I feel like success should be a very personal thing, right? Like, you need to figure out what your goals are, what it is you want to accomplish in your life. Not necessarily just like, absolutely, you're gonna have role models and people you look at and you want, you know, like some of the things they have, you want to do some of the things they do. But success isn't based on what another person's accomplishments are, right? It's based on certain goals that you set for yourself, and you basically accomplishing those goals, and you're at peace with the things you managed to accomplish. Like, that's what success looks like. So, like, for example, with me with music, I think I meet a lot of people who say things like, man, like, you know, I just wish you blew up, or like, I wish you got more, this, that, and the third. Like, those people, sometimes when they're talking about, I mean, and that's cool, and I appreciate all of that. Who wouldn't want to have more people listening to you? Who wouldn't want to make more money, right? But like, at the end of the day, like, dog, I got an amazing wife, man. Like, an amazing wife who loves me. I got 2 beautiful kids, man. Like, 2 beautiful, healthy kids. You know, I got great friends. You know what I mean? I got like family who respect me, like he was saying. And like, in those key things, like, dude, like every time I walk into my home, it's love. You know what I mean? Like, you know, every time. And it's not like stress over where we're gonna live tomorrow. I've been homeless before, so like, trust, man, like, you know, it's no worries on where the next meal coming from, this, that, and the third. It's like, if anything, our only concerns at this point is just like, yo, what great thing we're going to accomplish next and how much work it takes to get there. So that's what success is for me. You know, it's really like, I stopped basing my success and other people's successes like off of what generic things people think we should be doing. So
Chris's question was, do you like Steely Dan?
Steely Dan. Honestly, like I've heard a little bit of Steely Dan, but probably not enough to have an honest opinion on it. How about you?
I'm sure, like, Steely Dan will probably be one of those groups that I heard. Like I'm sure my father
Thanks,
used to
man.
listen to Steely Dan.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I've heard it, but I wouldn't know it unless it was played for me right now. Because it would have been one of those things like, man, I don't want to hear this. Man, you always play 96.3. But now when I hear it, I'm like, yeah, that's that shit.
Yeah, like definitely the joints I heard or whatever I know I dug, but like I haven't dug enough into the catalog to really have an honest opinion on it. I saw a question that said, would I'd rather have fame or freedom? That's easy. That's freedom every time. Freedom every time. You know what I mean? It's like I'm only deep when wading in the pool, and if there's herbal
I'm right there with you, dog. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, hey Chris, man, and look, I feel your pain, brother. Yeah, like that experience, man. Like, so my homelessness wasn't as severe as some. I was blessed enough where, like, luckily I wasn't living on the street. It was basically a situation that the plan, like, I moved out of a place because I had another place lined up, and then they told me that place wasn't ready. And so, like, literally for almost, how long was that, yo? It was a grip. It was a long time. Like, yeah, like, I can't remember if it was like 2.5 months. It was something crazy like that. But basically, man, I was sleeping, like I was bound. I was yeah. So I was more, like technically what they call is couch surfing, right? But I didn't have my own place. And so a lot of times, like if the homies would let me crash at their crib, like crash on their floor, whatever, I was bouncing around. But then in that situation, what would happen some days is like, yo, I come back after finishing class and then get home super late or get to their crib super late, and then they ain't there. And so, yo, you just posted up in front of a building, just like, you know, you out, and luckily it wasn't winter yet, you know what I mean? It's like the fall, but you just posted up, hoping your homeboy ain't forget about you. I ain't had no cell phone or nothing, so I couldn't like text nobody and be like, yo, I'm here. And so you just play the waiting game, hoping somebody comes through, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. And so, yeah, man, not to change the subject, but I got my Black of All Trades t-shirt, that's what's up. I got a company event with lawyers and judges, and I think I may wear it. Hey, Cloud Kick, you are the man for that. So success is pretty much having goals of which you respect and can blissfully obtain. Can't be truly successful unless you respect the goals you're going to accomplish. I feel that. Thanks for answering the success question. That means a lot. Anytime. I appreciate you for taking the time to ask it. I'm retired from the military now, so that's successful to me. Hey, look, I feel
at age 26.
At age 26, wow. Hey, man, thank you for your service and congrats to you.
Yeah.
All right. Have you ever heard soca and calypso? Come on now. Come on, then, dude. Have I heard calypso and soca music?
Did you take a class? Wasn't that dance class that you took? Michelle?
Nah.
Like, I'm talking about a long time ago.
Nah, that was what was it, like salsa or something like that?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely familiar. I lived in Brooklyn, New York for like 10 years, which is the closest thing to the Caribbean you're gonna find in the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and my wife is Haitian, even though that's a different type of music, that's compa. But yeah, absolutely, man. You can't spend a whole lot of time with West Indian folk and not know about those different styles of music. It says, how did NutriBest feature happen? Care to share some of the backstory? So what I'm gonna do for you, Noe, I'm gonna give you a link, right? Because I've kind of, I've told that story so many times that I literally made a video that I send people to all the time. But yeah, so matter of fact,
that same thing, like, man, you get that question.
Yeah, I get that question all the time. And so, so Noe, look, this is what you can do because it's loading up kind of slow on my side, and I don't want anything to crash before we finish because we're gonna wrap up soon. But Noe, this is what you can do, right? If you go on YouTube and just search, why is substantial big in Japan? Like if you search that question, right, it literally tells the whole NutriBest story. Because I'm not like a pop star or anything in Japan. That's just kind of like the first company I was with NutriBest, and that's how I got my start. But that, you watch that video, it answers all those questions and tells you how I linked up with them. All right? Yes, I did.
Kind of work.
I mean,
Substantial Ichiban and all kind of shit, man. Get out of here.
All right, please, what's going on, man? All right, good. All right. But yeah, so definitely check that video out. Noe should be able to answer your question. All right. That's what's up. Yeah, your hometown. All right. Being that you are in education, any advice on how to better connect with students going into my second year of teaching? I teach 7th graders at the age group. Okay.
Let me answer first.
Yeah.
Punch him in the mouth.
Right.
Now there's a real answer. Here's a real answer.
The views of Chef DeBar are solely his own. Have nothing to do with me working in education. So as I was saying, he said, "Put him in the mouth." Yeah. So look, this is authenticity in this work is everything, right? Like, be whoever it is you are. You need to be that. You know what I mean? And like, don't try, like, where I see sometimes people fail is basically they try to be something they're not, right? And then the other piece is, you know, like besides authenticity, the other thing is you have to, I think when you're working in education in general, no matter what age group you're working with, you have to have a general interest in the people you're serving, right? I think people sometimes forget educators are public servants. You know what I mean? Like when people see it, like for example, when the brother just told me, when Chris just told me he worked in the military, you know, I thank him for his service. That's not something you ever hear people say to a teacher or educator, right? But the reality of it is, it's also a form of public service. And so you have to go into that job knowing that your job, like, is to serve these children, right? Like, whatever their needs are, if it falls into like your into your job description, and there's a way you can meet those needs or whatever within the confine of the school or whatever, then you need to be on it at all times, and you need to be going above and beyond to make sure that those kids know that, like, if they have a certain need or whatever related to that place, that you're going to come through every time. And your word got to be your bond. Like, one of the things, you know, the kids are sometimes, depending on their background, they're surrounded by people who let them down all the time. You know what I mean? From friends to you know, friends, peers, sometimes family members, people who constantly make empty promises. And so, yo, when you tell them you're going to do something, man, like, just try to come through. And I'm fallen short a few times, but they know, like if I fall short, I come back in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? And make sure whatever it is I promise to them that I deliver on. And so, yeah, just like, and the last thing, and this is, you know, if you don't know what adultism is or whatever, and you work in education, you need to learn what that is. You need to understand that it is a real thing. The idea that because you are an adult, you are somehow better than a child. And like, you need to understand what that means, and you need to, like, basically figure out what are things that you do that constantly show that to kids or whatever, and you need to correct that. And that's a major thing that I see, one of the biggest problems I see in school systems. Like, I see adults who basically won't sit and have a real conversation with a child when they're having a problem, and they'll say like, oh no, I'm not about to sit here and talk about this with a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an adult, I ain't got time for this. You know what I mean? And it's like, and these are people who literally their job is to serve children. So it's like, how are you supposed to be effective at your job if you're not willing to do that? And so, I mean, I appreciate that question, man. You know, the fact that you pay attention and know I work with kids. You know, I got a lot of love, you know, for my fellow educators. So definitely, man, keep up the good work. Mr. Stanchel, I have a question. Have you heard of Chuck Brown or hey, yeah, you are a fool. Indio, man, I swear, yeah, he's like the comedy relief in the chat every time. How many degrees do you have? Absolutely none. 0.
I was waiting for you to
get my college dropout, right? Like, basically, while I was in college, I got my record deal. You know what I mean? And so I never finished. I basically was attempting to go back a few different times or whatever, financial issues, and then other issues with them not accepting my credits and different things. And I think about it sometimes, but the likelihood that I'm not going on my own dime. I'm not going back to school on my own dime.
And I'm just sending dick pics to the fucking dean. That's what he's not telling you.
And then there's that. He's lying. He's lying. He can't believe shit Sherm says, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know. But anyway, so That's gonna be the one part, right? Hey, you need to watch Substantial Sundays. Apparently, Substantial didn't get his degree because he was sending dick pics. You know what I'm saying?
His man, they know each other for years. He knows. He knows.
Right. If anybody knows, it would be him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Hey, Steph, Indio is playing around. I think he's from the area or whatever. That's why he was messing around. Sherm, cool hat. Of course, Sherm stayed with.
Appreciate that.
Sherm stayed with cool hat and cool sneakers. Show me sneakers, Sherm. Right, show him sneakers, Sherm. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Is it in the camera?
This is my consultant for all things cool. You know what I'm saying? It's in the camera. You know what I mean? All things cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Sherm, should I wear this? Hell no, that looks stupid. Okay, I'm wearing that to my next show. You know what I'm saying? That's what Sherm's good for these things, you know. Let's say, I said you mentioned a kid with HIV in this song. What happened with that? So he's talking about the song, The Boy With No Name. So in that particular instance, I didn't necessarily, there's other people in that song who I was mentoring, but him in particular, that was like one session that we had. I was there for a couple hours, and we were there to do like a writing workshop with the kids. And sometimes when I do writing workshops, there'll be people who aren't great at writing. There'll sometimes be kids who can't read or write. You know, other than like the name and basic stuff. This wasn't one of those instances, but the dude just basically was like, yo, I'm not good at writing, but I'm a pretty good artist. And so all of these kids that we were working with in that particular session were all like, they all either had AIDS or HIV. And these were all teenagers, man, like youngins. And the one dude I worked with in particular, he was 16 or 15 years old, something like that. And he looked like he was like maybe 11 or 12. Like, you know what I mean? And it's because of the disease and stuff. So it was rough, man. You know, it's always ill being in those situations. It's rough being in those situations because, you know, you're trying to serve folks or whatever, but like inside you're hurting for them. Like you're hurting. One of the hardest parts about the work I do is you meet so many kids who really deserve a better situation than the one they're born into. And I can't take them all home. You know what I mean? Like that's the hardest part of my job. I'm gonna keep it together, but there's a group of boys I work with, man. Their mother died of AIDS. Their father was living with AIDS, so he was living on borrowed time. And it's 4 of them. It's 4 boys, man. And the crazy thing is sometimes when you meet kids who are like in a super rough situation, like their behavior is like horrendous, right? You know, it makes it really hard, really difficult, but not impossible to serve them. But in this particular instant, man, these kids, dude, they were great, bro. Like, they were great, man. Like, just like fun to be around, always smiling. You would never know that these kids were homeless, living in like, because I was basically doing a summer program at a homeless shelter in Queens when I was living in New York. At one point in time, and they were part of the summer program, and they were part of the shelter. So you would never know these kids were, like if you saw them on the street or like had to teach them in a regular classroom, you wouldn't have known they were homeless. You wouldn't have known that their situation was a situation. You wouldn't know that their mother had died only a few years before. You wouldn't know that. They were just great kids, man. And like I used to come home in tears. Like I talked to my wife about it, tearing up. You know, because that's the hardest part of the job, man. Like, you know, I got days where I'm on the phone with like CPS, with Child Protective Services, for like hours. You know what I mean? Like hours, dude. Just back and forth, like you're holding forever, and all you can think when you're holding, like, damn, this much despicable shit happening in the world that I'm literally on hold for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, you know. And so that's a rough part of the job. If you're working with kids who are in bad situations, and you go home to this beautiful situation, and then, you know, your kids are just stuck with the shit they're stuck with. And so, you know, it's rough, man. It's rough. But, you know, I'm thankful that I'm able to do the work I do. And, you know, as you saw, like one of my students who popped up in here, like in the beginning of this joint, like, you know, like that's the best part. You know what I mean? These are kids who, like, you have a profound effect on their life, and they stick with you for years. Like they go on, sometimes they go to college, they become adults, have families of their own. I got kids who almost 30. I got students I work with who almost 30s, almost in their 30s, still hit me up, man. Like, you know, and then the dopest part of what I do is taking kids I work with who are still youngins right now, and when they ask for certain help with certain job opportunities, the best part is being able to hit other kids I work with. Like, yo, I'll hit like kids I work with before who are adults and be like, yo, they're trying to do this type of work, and you do this type of work
to your
man.
Yeah.
And like, and the dopest part is when they like the second I call, they're like, oh man, whatever you need, I got it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, shout out to Cornelius in particular, man. Like, he's one I'm super proud of. Like, the type of man he is. He still like he works as an electrician, but he does music and stuff, does shows and stuff. He's like, man, I always be telling my man, you know, you need to listen. My man, Mr. Stan, put me on, so I'm trying, you know. Like, I love that dude so much, man. I love that dude so much. And anytime I call him about like stuff I'm doing with kids, like I needed some stuff to come down in this one thing, this studio I was building with the homie Asher for these kids. And he came through, like, he was like, man, that's in my neighborhood. I walked there right now. Came through, like 10 to 20 minutes later, came through, stripped everything down, all the wiring down, took everything down for those kids, man. And then, like, in the same thing, talking to like a senior I was working with or whatever, just looking out. Anyway, I can go on that stuff forever. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother hour. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's see. I can relate to a certain degree. I work with kids, and at times I feel helpless because I wish I could help them more. Yeah, it's rough. And you know, and it's like, and knowing what line, like knowing certain lines you can't cross, right? Like you can only do so much. You know, and then the hardest part is like giving as much of yourself as possible during the day, but then saving enough so that when I come home, I can have enough energy and love to give to my kids as well when I get home. And so that's challenging, man. When you've been like in your office, like, you know, kids like crying or like angry, you know, fighting, and just all of this, like this wide range of emotions, you know what I mean? Laughter, tears, like every emotion you can think of has happened in my office in an 8-hour span. You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta wash it off and try to walk in your house fresh for your family. You know what I mean? That's hard to do. That's really hard to do, you know? But yeah, let's see. Can I link you with one of my friends who raps out of Cleveland? He's got mad talent, but he's in a rough city with not a lot of good people around. Yeah, I mean, yo, just send me and Sherm a link. Make sure you don't just send it to me, because Sherm is way better at checking out like new music when people send it to him. So link both of us, right? Like
I have a little more time.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
What up, Suicidal God?
Yeah, man, but definitely send both of us the link. We'll check them out, and if Sherm gets to it before I do, I'm sure he'll let me know, and Sherm will give me the thumbs up, like, hey man, this brother tight. You need to go ahead.
Oh my God!
What happened?
LeBron just went to the Lakers, dog.
You surprised? Man,
This fast though, like
I ain't surprised.
Well, I guess not this fast, being that it's about that free agency is about. Wow. Oh, capital C's.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Suicidal God. If you go into the description under the video, you'll see like it says follow us. It basically has our IG and our Twitter. So you can hit us in either one of those places and send us a link.
IG is better for me right now because I gotta redo my damn Twitter.
Alright, so yeah, so definitely make that happen. Let's see, Stephanie.
Yeah, Capital Steez is super dope. Super whoa.
Yeah,
is rest in peace, but he's still in like that album. I can't think of the name of the album he put out, but it's still dope. Like it's still dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I'm saying, yeah, like he had a house in hell. I mean, look, like I've known he's been out there for a minute. Like, so it just, to me, it just made sense. You know what I mean? Young team, they building this, that, and the third. And then like, yo, like he's already out there anyway for like personal stuff. So it's just like, no, come on, man. What's at this point in time in his career, what's best for his family? I think you hit a certain age, that's all it really comes down to.
Right.
It's like he don't need money. He got rings already. He want to be around a good squad, and this squad happens to be where his family. Yeah, it's legacy at this time. So yeah, man, and you know,
he ain't beating Yeah, well, I'll say if they get Paul George, well, nah, because I'm seeing Paul George is now extremely overrated. So Chris, you're probably right. That probably still won't be enough for Golden State.
Clark asked, he said, I tried asking this before, is your song If I Was Your Mic still relevant for some rappers of this generation? You've been to rap shows. You see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Absolute
Like,
molestation.
here's the microphone, right? Number one, if this is the top of the microphone, this is what bands do. They hold hand is covering the mic, and this is how they sing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you're supposed to, and I'm guilty of doing it to a certain extent, but sometimes you'll see me hold the microphone like this or whatever, just because when I hold it like this, the comfortable thing to do is to cover up the top of the mic, right? So sometimes or whatever, I'll do a show where it's like I'm holding the mic like this when I'm rapping. I don't do it all the time, but yeah, man, I mean, like, it's largely because rap is not something that is taught in a school, right? Like other forms of music, like performers and stuff, like they can get formal education for what they do and learn certain techniques in a controlled setting. Rappers don't have that. So oftentimes or whatever, something as simple as being able to properly use a mic, like basic mic etiquette, is something they don't have, because this is largely something you learn in the streets. It ain't like really taught, you know what I mean?
And it's more about looking cool than it is more hearing what you're saying.
More than anything. And nowadays, mamas ain't, you know, they ain't even, they got all the rhymes on the track already. So it's like you ain't got to hear them really through the mic anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they got 20 people on stage with them. So, and then there's that. But yeah. Let's see. Plus, nobody trying to stay in Cleveland. Yeah, I mean, look, it is Cleveland. No disrespect to anybody out there.
Right? Yeah.
I've had a good time in Cleveland. I've had a great time in Cincinnati. I like Ohio.
There's beauty in every place.
Right. Would I want to live there? Probably not. But you know, this is me keeping it in stack. So, Chris Paul staying with the Rockets.
Paul George staying with OKC.
Bet you trying to stay. Yeah, I feel you.
I do not believe in that. Everybody talking this LeBron trying to stay in the league. If LeBron stays in the league until it's someplace ball, man, that is, I'm going to find that pathetic and sorry. Go find something else to do, LeBron.
But if he's still killing it,
he ain't gonna be killing it at that age. At that age,
it's hypothetical,
man.
If you like 40 plus and you still wetting it up, I mean.
He ain't even Jordan, man.
I got
tried it in this 40s and he stunk it up.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. So, so real quickly, we got wrapped because we like 20 minutes, like past an hour at this point. So look, and I know this brother got places to be. So look, so a couple of quick things I just want to run down, right? Like, so I'm gonna say the big announcement first. So for everybody watching right now, especially those of you who even have never purchased physical merchandise from me, or people who purchased some but haven't got, you know, maybe all of the things. I need you to go check out substantial.bandcamp.com/merch, right? Because right now, pardon me, I have a Bandcamp summer sale going on where it's a minimum of $5 to 50% off of everything. And it's gonna stay like that all through July. So you can go there right now. I'm gonna hit y'all with the link, but it should already be in the description.
Your whole catalog is on there.
Yeah, my whole catalog is on there. So definitely check that out. Yes, sir.
So I went back. Oh man, it was a song off Substantial Burns that came on the other day. And I was like, yo, there's actually some really dope songs on this joint, man. I had to go back to that one. Yeah. Forgot what song popped up and made me go back and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was Let It Go.
Hello?
Nah, Let It Go is from Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh, but Burns produced it though.
Yeah, Burns produced it.
Yeah, okay. But that made me go back and check it out though.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out, Suicidal Guy. You send it to me on Instagram, I hope.
Alright, cool. Hey, thank you, Tupac Belly Mason. I appreciate it, man. So look, so again, the summer sale is going throughout the month of July. Please support. Literally, so biggest example I give people for a long time, the triple vinyl pack or whatever, which is all autographed and it's all 180 gram vinyl with the exception of one of the records. Literally, that pack was like $70, right? Plus shipping. So right now it's $35. Right, so just I'm putting it in perspective for you, right? And there are like CDs on there that are $5, there are cassettes on there for $5, vinyl for as low as like $12.50 or $15, something like that. So it's really good prices. Plus, I still got a few think different navy T-shirts left. So definitely cop those before they sell out.
That's on Bandcamp?
It's all on my Bandcamp.
Your shirts?
Yeah.
Temporary. Black Ball Trades ain't on sale.
No, it's not. The Black Ball Trades is only on my. If you want other merch from me that's not on there, like shirts in particular or hoodies or anything like that, you got to go to I Am Substantial.
Is Chillaxation still available on there?
Yeah, that you. I think that's in the. You got to go to the Bop Alloy Express.
Hey, if you're looking for a shirt, I'm telling you, of all the shirts that this dude has, because he makes some pretty dope shirts for a rapper. Usually rap shirts fucking suck. You can't wear them shits anywhere but to a rap show or to wash your car. He has a Chillaxation shirt. First of all, it's an awesome song from the first Bob Alloy. But the shirt is just as dope as the song. So yeah, if you're wondering what shirt to cop, I cop that one first.
Word, man. Word. I haven't. I got to go back and check out the Underachievers. I've seen their names before, but I don't know.
The Underachievers.
They're dope. Okay.
I haven't heard from them in a while. I wonder.
So look, last few reminders. Make sure if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that. So that way you get these notifications the second we go live, and you get notifications. Well, if you turn your notifications on, you'll get notified the second this goes live, and also you get notified when I post other cool things. So a couple of other things. Remember, The Garden, my latest album, is out now. For those of you who maybe didn't know, make sure you check that out. And then what was it? So the three major things to note or whatever for future releases. I'm working on a best of album, like Best of Substantial. I'm working on that. I'm probably gonna put at least one new song on there, like something. If it's not a new song, it'll be something y'all hadn't heard before that was unreleased. Along with classic joints from different records I've done, and maybe a few from other people. And also, I'm working on a remix EP, like a couple remixes I'm gonna do for like other people, including remixes of a few of my songs. It's only gonna probably be 6 tracks, but I'm looking to drop that later this year. So both the Best Of album and the remix project will be out later this year. And next year, I'm gonna drop my first self-produced solo album. And so I'll give y'all more details as we start to get a little later in the year, and I'll keep y'all posted. But I have the next 4 weeks off, and I'm strictly making music. I've made 3 beats in the last day and a half so far. I'm gonna let you hear one of them. They're not gonna hear this one today. Yeah, I got y'all next week though. I'm gonna let y'all hear some of what I've been cooking up. And so yeah, so good stuff coming, man. Good stuff. All right, but on that note, I don't know what I said before. On that note,
hey, Suicidal God, make sure you're here next week. I'm gonna try to let you know, try to give some feedback on your homeboy.
Hey, he said no. He wants to know Precious haircuts in the NBA. We'll answer that on the go.
James Harden and what's my man DeAndre Jordan probably have the best cuts in the NBA right now. Most everybody else's haircuts are fucking trash. I hate seeing them dudes haircuts because they're so terrible. It's like, dude, you're an NBA player, man. You could have taken some time. But from what I hear, because I haven't cut an NBA dude yet, but a lot of the barbers that I know that have cut NBA dudes, it's not what you think that you would be getting. So that's probably why their haircuts be looking like shit. So yeah, Harden and Jordan, those are the best 2 I've seen. LeBron's haircut is not real. It's not a haircut, it's fucking paint.
Alright, so let me get this Trump supporter dude about it.
Oh, Lord have mercy, man.
So yeah, so anyway, on that note, we're gonna get ready to go. Hey man, this has been a great day for randomness, right?
Yeah. Like you said, man, that's coming up, son. You know what I'm saying?
Coming up, you know what I mean? We even
Devil only show up when it's good shit popping.
Oh, quote that is the way to end it right there. The devil only show up when it's good shit popping. So look, on that note, we gotta go. We got families to get to. I gotta drive home. This brother got some other activities to partake in. And on that note, yo, we're out, man. Peace. Thank y'all.
I'm giving you the deuces like a Sicario too. Benicio del Toro.
Hey, y'all. Peace, man. Y'all have a good one, all right?
Oh, man.